forest stood still. A veil of darkness hung heavy, shrouding ancient trees in an unsettling embrace. Moonlight, fractured and weak, painted distorted shadows on the forest floor. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decay. A twig snapped. The sound, sharp and sudden, sliced through the silence. It was followed by the soft crunch of leaves underfoot, a whisper of movement in the stillness. A lone owl hooted, its mournful cry echoing through the trees like a warning. They say the forest holds secrets, ancient, terrible secrets. Whispers travel on the wind here. Stories told in hushed tones, passed down through generations. Legend spoke of a call that echoed from the depths of the well, a harbinger of despair, a summons to the unwary. And they called it the Harrow Call. The Harrow Call, a whisper in the darkness, a promise whispered on the wind. It was said that those who heard the call were drawn to the well, compelled by an unseen force. They would stand at the edge, their faces pale and drawn, their eyes filled with a mixture of terror and morbid curiosity. Some say it's a test, others a curse, but all agree it comes with a price. For in the heart of the Harrow Call lies a truth so profound, so terrifying, that it can shatter your sanity.
The Harrow Call? Urban legend or something more?
Mia lived for the truth. She sought it in the darkest corners, unraveling mysteries others wouldn't touch. She had stared down corruption, exposed lies. But some stories cut deeper.
And heard it again tonight. The ringing. It's in my dreams now. The well, the bucket swaying. I can't escape it.
The internet was a breeding ground for fear. But this felt different, real. The line between belief and disbelief. It was so easily blurred.
Section 3. The unsettling evidence. Mia squinted at the screen, trying to make out the figure in the photo. Was it her imagination? Or did the figure seem to be looking directly at the camera? She leaned closer, her pulse quickening. A sense of unease, cold and prickling, settled over her. It was probably just the late hour, the shadows playing tricks on her mind.
Logic and reason. Mia clung to them. But the darkness had a way of whispering back.
She clicked on the next image, her curiosity battling with a growing sense of foreboding. The image was even more disturbing than the last. It was a close-up of the well, the rusted iron bucket hanging precariously over the edge. But it was the reflection in the water that made Mia's blood run cold. Staring back at her from the depths of the well was a face. It was gaunt, almost skeletal, with eyes that seemed to burn with an unnatural light. The face was contorted in a silent scream, a horrifying tableau frozen in time.
She had sought the truth. But some truths were best left buried.
Mia's gaze lingered on the grotesque image. It felt like an icy hand had gripped her heart. She quickly shut down her laptop. The sudden darkness in the room felt heavier, more oppressive. Her pulse hammered in her ears. A strange silence descended, broken only by the ticking of the old clock on the wall. It was 2:47 a.m., the witching hour. The air seemed to crackle with a strange energy.
2:47. An hour for shadows and secrets.
Suddenly, a sharp, jarring ring split the silence. Mia jumped, her heart leaping into her throat. Her phone, vibrating on the desk, bathed in an eerie blue light.
A call in the night. An invitation to dance with the unknown.
Mia stared at the phone, her breath caught in her chest. No caller ID, just a blank screen and that incessant ringing. It felt like a physical pull, urging her to answer. Mia hesitated. Fear warred with curiosity. A part of her, the rational, skeptical part, screamed at her to ignore it, to let it ring. But another part, a darker, more primal instinct, urged her closer.
The line between curiosity and folly, a razor's edge.
The ringing stopped abruptly. Silence flooded back in, thick and heavy. Mia exhaled, a shaky, uneven breath. She had dodged a bullet. But as she reached to turn her phone off, a soft chime made her pull back. A voicemail. Who would leave a voicemail at this hour? And how did they even get her number? It wasn't publicly listed. A cold dread seeped into her gut.
Some doors are not meant to be opened. Some secrets are best left buried.
Mia stared at the notification, her finger hovering over the screen. Her mind raced. Should she listen to it? Delete it unheard? Was this some sick prank? Or was it something more? Logic told her to leave it alone, to pretend she never got the call. But the seed of curiosity once planted had taken root deep within her. She had to know. She had to hear the voice.
Curiosity, a dangerous dance partner. One that could lead you down a path of no return.
With a deep breath, Mia pressed the play button. The silence stretched, agonizingly long. Then, a voice. Faint, raspy, like dry leaves rustling in the wind. It seemed to seep from the phone, sending shivers down her spine.
Hello, Mia.
Mia's blood ran cold. Her name, spoken with such chilling familiarity. It was like the voice had reached into her mind, touched her deepest fears.
We've been expecting you.
The game had begun. The players had taken the field. And Mia had just become the pawn.
A sudden noise from outside. A tap, almost imperceptible against her window. Mia flinched, her phone clattering to the desk. Heart pounding, she slowly turned toward the window.
Every shadow held its breath. Every rustle of leaves, a whispered threat.
Mia strained to see through the darkness. Her reflection, pale and wide-eyed, stared back at her from the glass. A flicker of something dark behind the swaying branches? It was just her imagination, fueled by the cryptic voicemail.
Fear was a liar, a deceiver, but his whispers held a terrifying truth.
But before her fingers could touch the fabric, a blinding light flashed from her desk. Mia whirled around. Her laptop, it was on. The screen bathed the room in an eerie glow. What she saw sent a wave of ice-cold terror through her veins. It was a live feed of her room, from an impossible angle, high above.
You are being watched. Your every move observed.
A figure bathed in the pale glow. Herself. Mia's breath hitched in her throat. Was she being watched right now?
There are eyes everywhere. Silent, unseen, always watching.
My blood turned to ice. They were watching me. They knew about my research, about the call, about everything. My carefully constructed world of logic and reason crumbled around me.
Curiosity is a hunger. Once fed, it demands more, and it always demands payment.
A strangled cry escaped my lips. a primal sound of fear and despair. This was wrong. All wrong. I had stumbled onto something dark, something ancient and evil, and now it had me in its sights.
You have seen too much, heard too much. Now you will pay.
The distorted image of my face, trapped in the digital reflection of the well, seemed to reach out from the screen. It pulsed with an unnatural light, casting grotesque shadows that danced across the walls.
You sought the Harrow Call, Mia. Now it answers.
I stumbled back, away from the hypnotic glow of the laptop. My own terror, mirrored back at me, was a tangible thing now, a suffocating presence.
The well remembers, the Harrow Call never forgets.
The room grew colder. The air, thick and heavy, pressed down on me, stealing my breath. A low hum began to vibrate through the floorboards, a discordant symphony that resonated deep within my bones.
It hears your fear, Mia. It feeds on your curiosity. You are not alone.
The embrace of the void.
On the screen, the reflection in the well began to spin. Faster and faster, a vortex of pixels and light, drawing Mia in with its hypnotic dance. The humming reached a fever pitch, a chorus of whispers swirling around her.
I felt an invisible force pulling at me, dragging me towards the laptop, towards the swirling abyss reflected on the screen. I tried to resist, to scream, but my voice was trapped in my throat.
Let go, Mia, give in. The Harrow Call demands its due.
The room around me dissolved into a blur, the only reality the cold light emanating from the screen. The metallic clang of the bucket echoed in my ears, each clang a hammer blow against my dwindling resolve.
Silence now, Mia. The prelude to an ending.
I felt my fingers slip, drawn inexorably towards the screen. The reflected well beckoned, promising oblivion, promising answers. No escape.
One final desperate thought flickered through Mia's mind. This couldn't be real. It was a nightmare, a hallucination. It had to be. But the cold, hard truth was inescapable.
The Harrow Call was real, and I had answered.
Yes, Mia, the Harrow Call is very real.
The vortex on the screen exploded outwards in a blinding flash of white light. I screamed, a sound swallowed by the void, as the light consumed me, pulling me into the depths of the well, into the heart of the Harrow Call.
The laptop screen remained black, a void reflecting the emptiness left in Mia's absence. The room, once filled with the hum of electronics and the frantic energy of her investigation, was eerily quiet. The only sound, the gentle whisper of the wind through the old oak tree outside the window. But the silence wasn't peaceful. It was thick with unspoken horrors, heavy with the weight of an unseen presence. The air itself felt different now, charged with a sinister energy that sent shivers down the spine. The silence speaks volumes. It whispers of things unseen, of fates worse than death. The shadows in the room seemed to deepen, stretching out like grasping claws. The once familiar objects, the desk, the chair, the scattered files, took on a sinister aspect, as if imbued with a malevolent life of their own. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of leaves outside the window, a reminder that something is listening. The camera slowly pans away from the laptop, moving towards the window. The oak tree outside sways gently in the breeze, its branches casting long, distorted shadows across the room. But now, in the stillness, it's impossible to shake the feeling that someone, or something, is watching from within those shadows. The dripping sound intensifies, each drop like a hammer blow against the silence. The camera focuses on the window pane where a single word is scrawled in what appears to be condensation. The letters dripping down the glass like blood. Curiosity can be deadly. The word, stark and chilling, is answer. The screen fades to black as the dripping sound continues, echoing into the silence. Some calls are best left unanswered, but it's too late for you.